Welcome to the Vernon Verdict. I'm your host, Jacob Vernon. Today I'm joined by Princeton Malbrew. Princeton's a strong defensive end out of Lafayette Christian Academy, where it's home of the champions, I've heard. They went on an impressive state championship run from 2017 to 2020. Princeton, take me through that journey and just what got you here today at LSU.
That journey's been a blessing. Going down south and Coach Trev Falk and Coach Reggie Williams, they've done a tremendous amount of job with that program, building it from the ground up. They started at 1A now. This year playing in 4A. So the growth and development in that program has been very tremendous. Winning four state championships and even competing in a fifth state championship, it's been a blessing. So through that developmental stage, they have had a lot of athletes come in and out of LCA and have went out and produced a lot. And a lot of guys, go to big D1 colleges, and it's just been a blessing. Blessing to hear that direction. It's supposed to be from the tutelage of Coach Trevor Falk. Coach Trevor Falk, he played at LSU. He was All-American, played in the NFL. So a lot of expertise and a lot of, tradition coming from that expertise and a lot of, positive direction through that program. And so I was just blessed, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
And that's vital for an athlete's growth. You hear the common saying that if you have talent, the recruits will find you. But I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like in all reality, you just got to have a good support system, good college, good coaches, helping you get that knowledge and getting those skills to that level. So those coaches around you, the guys who went to LSU, did they kind of mold you into this player you are today, or is that just an accumulation of experience and training?
So yeah, I mean, I would say so. I would say that they put me in a very positive direction, very positive mindset that hard work beats talent at the same time. But you got to keep going. At the end of the day, you got to get the work done. There's a lot of different aspects in the game, and what you can control, what you can control. You can't. You can control attitude and your effort. As long as you stay positive with that, have a positive mindset, come to work every day, come to learn every day with an open eye, open ear, and you can't fail with that.
Right, and that's a good mindset to have. You've had some great experiences throughout your high school career, including winning the MVP award. How did that feel? How was that whole process? Kind of take me through that moment. I seen a clip on Instagram of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was very special moment. Really, really, I wasn't really thinking about it at the time that I wanted. I was just like, at that time, I was taking it at that game. We wanted to win three state championships at the time. And I just wanted to give my seniors out a good note and, give my program out a good note. It was my last final game of my high school career. I wanted to end in that good note, play for my brothers and, just go and put 100% out on the field. And, it worked out as it planned.
So how has that mindset transitioned at the college level here at LSU? You got a lot of big guys around you: Mason Smith, B.J. Jalari, Alligator. How do you stand up against them and just learn from them in a sense? You got that dog mentality, which is perfect for the trenches, and you fit right alongside of the toughest defensive line group in the country, I'd say.
Really, I would say, the different transitions to the game is really, all about listening, all about being, representative, all about being, dialed in, locked in 100%. And I feel like, from coming from those guys with a lot of, different experiences, in this level, it's a very blessing to have, those guys in front. You can see a lot, see a lot of learn new techniques, learn a lot of, experiences on what to do, what not to do, and just learning from those guys each and every day, has been a very special process because iron sharpens iron. One man sharpens another, and I feel like when you have a collective group of guys who all want a positive direction in the program and help each other out, help each other teammates out. I feel like that's also a very special area to be around.
I agree. That iron sharpens iron is very true. At LSU, you see that a lot. You got guys like Derek Stingley, Jamar Chase going one on
Mhm.
one. You got even Joe Burrow and Patrick Queen. Seems like a lot of stories come out of LSU practices and a lot of great moments. Have you ever had a huge story yet in practice that's kind of stuck out with you? Like, man, I'm really here at LSU in the thick of the competition.
I'd say probably when I first got my first sack in at LSU. But from that, I mean, just stepping out on the field, I mean, it was just a dream come true. I always wanted to play for that program and always want to represent, my state's colors. represent the name on my back. And I feel like, our first practice out there, meeting all the coaches, meeting all the players, and having a collective bond with them and being able to work, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right near my hometown and wear purple and gold, it means so much more to me. And, it's solidified a lot. It's very special.
When LSU was reaching out to recruit you, how did that process go? Who reached out, and just kind of take me through that one.
So really, right when I entered the portal, I met with Kerry Crooks and J.R. Belton. They have done a phenomenal job with that recruiting process. And, we met through a neutral base site. And, actually, my head coach in high school also played, a positive role in that direction. And, when I got the call, I was getting bites from a few other schools, Southeastern, Mississippi State, all kinds of other schools. And then it just didn't feel as right as me because I always want to put on purple and gold and represent my state. And so when they came calling, I answered, and it just made it much, much better for me.
So, would you say that the LSU recruits, um, Louisiana recruits and LSU specifically, gravitate towards LSU for that reason? They want to be able to put on for the friends and family nearby. Also, it's just instilled in you. I feel like LSU culture. That so you'd say that's pretty much the dark horse for LSU being able to keep the Louisiana guys home.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys from this area wants to represent their state. I mean, but of course, LSU has a lot of tradition, a lot of winning history. They have produced a lot of guys in the next level in the NFL, still playing, and making a big impact in that next level. So I feel like a lot of guys want to follow in that footsteps, as well. I talked about my head coach. He was an LSU alumni, played in the NFL, and so there are a lot of positive role models like him around, our state that a lot of young athletes want to follow in that footstep in that direction.
I agree. That NFLSU list is huge, and being in a situation where you're more than likely going to be able to get put at the next level, it's a no-brainer. So I agree. I think you made the right choice. If I had to pick where I'd want to play football, I'd pick LSU all the way. I would be
Yeah.
100% all about that. Speaking of LSU and just that whole recruitment process, it seems Brian Kelly really took on a new role and turned over a new leaf. Completely got LSU back in shape. It looks like they're going to be able to perform well. I'm expecting 9-10 wins is what I'm thinking. How do you feel about LSU chances next year?
I feel like we can go as far as we want to. I feel like we have a lot of good athletes all across the board, a lot of good, great depth. And I feel like as if we all buy in, we all work 100%, and I feel like we're gonna do just fine. I feel like Coach Kelly has made a very big impact in our program coming in. With the strength staff, especially with all the director personnel that he just brought in, and I feel like everyone's bought in. Everybody's focused. Everybody wants to be positive and be very progressive. So I feel like with the direction that we're going, it could be an SEC national championship. So we really can control what we control. So I feel like we can go as far as we want.
And I agree. I think a lot of things favor LSU next year. The toughest game on the schedule will be Bama, but it's at home, so you get a little
Yeah.
breathing room there. I think that's a huge factor for LSU. I could see a 10-win season, and man, if Brian Kelly can put the Tigers in the national championship or just national championship talk in his first
Mm.
season, that'd be huge, especially on the recruiting side of it. It seemed like they almost had no leverage this year to recruit with. Last season was a little rough, had a lot of guys in and out. How were they able to convince you? Besides, you wanting to do it, were they coming to you with a certain strategy, like a certain scheme in mind for you? Were they letting you know how you'd be instilled in the new defense? Because this has never been seen before. We're about to see a whole madhouse makeover for Louisiana
Yeah.
defense.
Really coming in, I'm bought in, as a jack hybrid linebacker. So there's a lot of different ways that Matt House has came in and, directed the defense, with, edge rushing as well as having the ability of his linebackers to pass drop and do multiple things, shape up different stunts. And he's been very creative with the playbook for our defense. So I feel like, it's going to be a lot of fun come the fall, but I feel like what Matt House has came in and implemented in our defense has been something very special.
I agree. I'm excited to watch this going forward next year. I'm also excited to go ahead and see how Brian Kelly is going to handle the SEC because there's a lot of stressful factors in the SEC, whether it be the long schedule, the tough games over and over and over. But I think he's putting himself in prime position to win. I think LSU's top five already, in my opinion. But y'all guys are getting closer and closer. What's that energy like in the locker room? Are y'all just all best friends and everything's good all the time, or kind of take me through that?
So we're a type team, so we're a type bond. But the energy is always good. The guys are always welcoming to each other. They're always positive towards each other. When we rub each other's feathers, within like 5 to 10 minutes, we're all good. But at the same time, the energy is always intense. We're always very positive. We're always trying to get the next man right beside us better. And I feel like that you can't go wrong with it. That's what I feel, in and out through the meeting rooms, through workouts, through practices. There have been a lot of accountability throughout the team, whether to show up on time, whether to do this, do that. And I feel like there's a lot of implemented, accountability across the board.
And that's vital for success. So that's good news. Good to hear. One more thing. Will there be a chance that we see you, Mason, BJ, on the field at the same time? That'd be almost overpowered. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that ball if that would be the case.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, only time will tell.
That's good. Good news. Well, this has been a verdict. Thank you, Prince, for coming on. We'll see a whole lot more collabs between us, and we'll look out for you in the games, man. Y'all look out on the sideline for us, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. This has been the Verdant Verdict. Thank y'all.